morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's Thursday morning. Ain't God good and won't he do it? Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yes, he will. I know my listeners probably saying, Lee Craft, Lee Craft, Lee Craft. You say the same thing every morning. I'm going to say Enoch, Ewok, Enoch. That means y'all sure know what to say. Look, it's Thursday morning, right? And the other day I went to the hospital to see my sister-in-law, right, Marilyn. She was in the hospital. She was sick. So I said, my wife and I said, let's go see how she's doing, right? So we were going to the hospital and everything to see Marilyn. And walking through the door, we saw this lady. We know who she was, but she had her head down. And my wife said, that's like Marilyn. I said, I want to go ask, see who it is. She said, yeah, you don't mind. You like to talk a lot. I said, what? But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all those beautiful apps. Look for the animated black man with a white beard smiling and profiling and finally like, y'all trying to size me up. Oh, yeah. So I went over there, before I went over there, right? You know, my wife said, Lee, you love to talk. Why don't you go over there and see what it is? I said, what you say again? You hear what I said? I said, but you won't say it to my face. I'm just playing. Her the security guard was just laughing and stuff. So I went and said, excuse me, is your name Melanie? She said, Lee, that's you. Yeah, it's me, Melanie. And she just started laughing and talking. We just started talking. And just, I thought it was you. I thought you thought it was her. Why you asked who it was then? You got a smart mouth. So no, we got some smart mouths. Did I say it right? Mouth. So we got to talking, right? So she said she waiting on John, my brother-in-law. He went to park the truck, and she said, "How long you been sitting there, Marilyn?" And Melanie said, Melanie, I keep on getting it wrong. Melanie said, I've been sitting about 15 minutes. Where John go park the truck at? Wendy's? And come to find out, he parked the truck at Wendy's and walked all the way up. You know, I said, "What's wrong with him?" So we going up, right? Just talking and laughing and stuff, just reminiscing back and just talking about. We had no idea we haven't seen somebody in a long time, right? So we just laughing and talking and everything, right? So John says it was room 3411, so we knocking on the door 3411. It's the wrong door. And people look inside the door. They ain't look like us. That's how that song go. They look like us, but no, they look like us. So I said, what for? So I went to the other next door. He's off by one number. So next door, it was Marilyn was in the room and everything. And walked through the door. You see the joy in Marilyn's eyes and everything. Man, she was happy to see us and stuff. Man, she was very happy. She said, "There go my favorite brother-in-law." I said, Marilyn, how you doing? she just started laughing. So we all sat down and started talking and talking to Marilyn and everything. And it like, oh man, you don't want to. It's to go see somebody at the hospital, but when you get together, man, people see you and they light up because they see in your presence and everything. Everybody there to see them and. It gives you hope. It encourages you to hurry and let God heal your body so you can get well. So we're sitting there talking and stuff, and asked John why he parked so far. Why did he park in the hospital parking lot, and why did he park at Wendy's? He said his vision is bad. He said he can't see. I said, you can't see? Why are you driving? He said the cars are so close when you turn the park, he's going to be hitting them cars. So he go to Wendy's parking lot, so there's a lot of open space to park over there. I said, man, that's bad. I said, Marilyn. I said, excuse me. I said, Melanie. I said, you're a brave one. What do you mean, Lee? I said, you are brave because you ride with somebody who can't see. I said, Melanie, let me ask you a question. I said, what do you do when John is coming up on a stoplight? She said, red! I said, what? Red! That means to slow down and stop. I said, are you serious? Yeah. She said, Lee, it's terrible. He can't see. I said, no, he can't see, and you letting him drive, and you know he can't see. What did I say about you? What are you trying to say, Lee? Nothing. I said, I don't know what I'm talking about. I said, I was just saying something. They'll be saying something. But she said, yeah. She said, I told him to go get his eyes taken care of and everything. But John said he don't want to get that shot in his eyes to fix his eyes. I said, John, man, if you going blind, man, you better do something, man, before it go. Because once it said leave, it don't come back. So we started talking a little bit more, right? And Melanie told us about they was going somewhere and saw a lot of orange barrels that was in the street. I guess they were working construction work on the streets, right? And Marilyn said when you saw them barrels, she said, but Melanie said orange, orange, orange. And look, we just started laughing. Man, that's what it's all about. There's nothing more important than family, but be mindful. No matter what you're going through, I can guarantee you one thing. It's going to be okay. As long as you make God a part of your life, it's going to be okay. That's a what-if guarantee. Make God a part of your life. But like I said, Marilyn just started laughing. I said, Marilyn, so you hungry? She said, yeah, Lee. I said, Lee, I don't want no fish either. I said, man, I don't actually want no fish, but fish is my favorite dish. Without no money, it's still a wish. But you want some fish? No, I want no fish. And like I said, people, me, when I see family, man, I light up too. And so the nurse brought some food in for, I think it was like roast beef and potatoes and everything. And I said, "Are you hungry?" She said, yeah. So I said, "Phyllis, you don't mind? Can you feed her? Feed her." So Phyllis fed Marilyn and stuff. We sit there and just start laughing, talking, stayed there for a minute and stuff, just talking to her. Just when people come to see you, it gives you hope. You know what I'm saying? You see, look in the eyes, stuff. The eyes are smiling even when the body's in pain. So that's why I say today is Thankful Thursday. And like I said, if you have some gaps in your relationship with some of your family members, this is the time right now to go tell them, hey, whatever I may have done, I'm sorry, I apologize. Let's move forward. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, somebody got to take that first step. Everybody afraid to take the first step. Take the first step just so you can bridge that gap and stuff. Because like I said, life is too short. You're here today and you're gone today. So don't have no regrets about telling your loved one, hey man, I wish we could have worked this thing out. And you had the opportunity to work this thing out. That's why I say, about John, Melanie, Marilyn, my wife Phyllis, and everybody at the hospital just laughing and everything, just laughing with and at each other. That's how it's supposed to be with nobody getting offended, And Marilyn and like I said, Melanie, man, I said, Melanie, now what do you say, man? What do you do? What do you say when we get to a stop sign? Red stop! Red stop! Man, look, you cannot make this stuff up. And like I said, one thing I love to do, I love to laugh. I enjoy laughing, man. You can laugh, you can make fun of me all day, and I won't take it personally because I know who I am. I know who I am. And some people get mad when making fun of them. What get mad for? I know who I am. I know what I'm all about. So those things, jokes are sometimes they be true. Sometimes they be painful. But when you know who you are, you can be who you are, and there you are, ignoring those stupid things. God got something better for you and stuff. So laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself. So, people, that's my story for Thankful Thursday. Like I said, if you got somebody you need to go and see, please go and see them. Like I said, because man, that's one thing you don't want to happen. You had the opportunity to say something, and you said nothing, and you did nothing. Me, shoot, I'm gonna try to bridge those gaps and stuff. Like I said, because I'm working on some things myself. Like I said, with loved ones and everything. So you can't. All you can do is put it out there. What they do with it, basically, it's on them. I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, baby. I've got nothing but love. I don't need money. I don't need pearl. As long as I got my family, I'm the king of the world. Look, you ain't got to be the best in order to get your best. You just got to be there. Be there. So, with that being said, hopefully if I said something wrong that you didn't understand and stuff, charge it to my heart, not my head, because my heart's always in the right place. And like my children's already told you, like I say all the time, Daddy, you're not a good storyteller. I said, you're probably right, but like I said, it got you to where you at. What they said, what then? You heard what I said. It got you where you at. So, with that being said, this is Lee Craft. This is my podcast. What if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound, together. We got an opportunity to turn this whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation, you got to have real people. If You want to have a real conversation. Have a blessed day, and please find time and make time to tell God thank you.